All these fees together will cost you about $5,304.95 plus taxes. Now, there's a lot of people who write their exam and do not pass.
I mean,
Like, is this an everyday kind of a meal? Like,
it can be. It's more common in the winter. I mean, in the summer.
Oh, can you do that one more time?
Yeah.
Press record.
I'm just gonna have a lot of fish sauce.
Sorry.
Oh, this is so good. Oh my goodness.
Try some
It's
short ribs.
delicious.
You're
Chicken and then ribs.
there. Oh, and we forgot the thin.
Oh, don't forget the cucumbers.
You have your lettuce and the
Yep, I cut it in
spring
here.
roll. You got the spring roll?
And I'm gonna, so what do I have to watch out for if I don't want
Those
too
red
spicy?
chilies.
Okay, so just,
Yeah, there you go.
But you need some of the garlic.
well, how do I get just the garlic?
It's like at bottom.
Where all the chili is?
Oh, you okay with nuts, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, this is the star of the show.
Mmm.
How is it?
Cheers! So, with regards to getting a real estate license, there are quite a lot of people in BC and even outside of BC are very curious about how people make money in real estate. And the first that comes to mind, of course, is becoming a realtor. So, in BC, there's quite a lot of us. Over the last few years, as the market continued to grow, just the amount of the population of realtors grew as well. And also things became more expensive to maintain your license, to even get a license, and the amount of time needed to be spent on doing these things also increased. So we are here today because Tommy just recently got his license. So we wanted to, yay!
Good job, you passed.
That's true. That's a big thing now. There's a lot of people who write their exam and do not pass.
I mean, like, you get 2 shots, but their second shot must be pretty nerve-wracking.
Oh,
because you have to
yeah.
redo everything, right? If you fail,
Yes.
so it's like...
Well, I kind of just want to ask you just a little bit, really short, about your
Okay.
background. So,
about my background. Okay.
yeah,
That's true.
like, were you born and raised here?
Okay, so I got here when I was 5 from Vietnam. My dad is basically like the Bow people, right? So he got here in 92 and I got here in 93. And I got here when I was 5, so I'm basically
When you say
Canadian,
boat people,
like refugee, like literally hopped on a boat in the ocean kind of thing, got picked up by like,
Whoa.
yeah, and he stayed at the Malaysian camp. Yeah.
Whoa.
In Vietnamese, it's called Diak Bing. I'm really surprised we would get to talk about this actually, because it's called Diak Bing, right? And yeah, I got here when I was 5. I've basically been in and out of Vancouver and Calgary, but I basically grew up in Calgary the last 15 years, and then the last 5 years I've been back here. So my life has always been kind of like Western Canada. Yeah, and before becoming a licensee, I was a fisherman. I was a fisherman for 4.5 years out in the Pacific Ocean for
that's so
Dungeness
cool.
crab. Yeah, you guys want videos? I got videos for you.
yeah.
I think
Wow.
yeah. And then now I like to cook privately, and I just got into real estate. I'm new.
Okay, why did you choose real estate?
I think it's my personality. I always wanted to pursue it, but I think it's because I'm an outgoing person. I can communicate. I can basically talk to anybody on the street, and I got thick skin, so I'm not shy of
You
Is it
you
true?
do need really thick skin to be in
That
this
should
industry.
be-
That's
that
like
should be a
number one.
requirement,
It is a
like,
requirement.
that's gotta be like
It
on
is.
the list. I
You have
mean,
to have a
yeah.
certain personality,
Yeah.
somewhat
Yes.
outgoing, not afraid to talk to strangers,
No.
and
If you have a fear of rejections, I mean, yeah, good luck, 'cause, yeah,
You gotta know how to hustle in this industry.
hustle and bustle. Yeah.
Hustle and bustle.
I mean, what about you guys? How long have you guys been in the industry for?
I started in 07.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of a long time ago.
I
feel so
started
old.
2004 to 2008, and
Oh,
then I
wow.
left the industry. I pursued my own career and my own photography business, and then I went back into real estate 2018.
20. Oh, see,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
So almost like taking a full decade off.
But during the time that you were away from real estate as a professional, you were buying and
Yeah, so during that time, I did buy and sell a bunch
estate.
of condos and real estate through. I used to work for Boza Properties, so I bought some condos through them and bought and sold, and our studio space out in Port Moody and our house. So, yeah, I feel like I've always kind of been in the industry, and I also studied housing at university too. So, it's a profession that I've always wanted to pursue.
Cool.
my dad was a realtor before I
Oh.
got into the business.
So it's in the family?
I suppose so. So the way that I grew up in elementary school and in high school was my dad was a realtor, and then my mom was interested in buying real estate for investment. So she would buy old house, we'll fix it up, and then what we would do is rent it out. So I feel like it was every couple of weekends, we would go to this property, clean up the yard, clean up the inside after the renters move out, and that was just kind of how I grew up. So I always knew about real estate. If one of your friends come to you and say, "Hey Tommy, I'm interested in becoming a realtor as well. I don't have a lot of money saved up right now, and I probably would want to start making money soon. Would you recommend me taking the license? And how long do you think it'll take before I can make my first deal?"
I wouldn't recommend you going for the license full on, and I would say that it's unknown when your first deal is. It's very you can't predict the market, you can't predict your clients, you can't predict when people are ready to sell or buy. But I would definitely if they say they don't have any savings, I would definitely tell them to keep their regular job, daytime job, just to get by, because when I was doing the math, I mean, you're gonna need at least 10 grand. That's just a very simple base. So the first thing you're gonna have to do is take I think it's called CELP. It's CELPIP. CELP test. Basically, it's an English proficiency test to make sure that you speak English. They test you in 4 categories: writing, speaking, listening, and reading. Right?
Writing, speaking, listening, and reading.
Yeah.
But this
so
is
far.
not for everyone, right?
And-
I think.
Only if you have a university degree.
Okay, so if you have a
Recognized
university
by
degree,
Canada.
Yeah.
then you don't need to write this.
That's
Got
the
it.
only, like, hey, you're okay. But
Okay,
anything
yeah,
else,
okay.
even if you have like a 2-year diploma from another province or whatever,
Got it.
it's $300.
Okay.
And I think it's at least 2 week of a wait. So it could be a 2 week or a month, but you can get that while you are enrolled in the course, right? So that's $300. Now the next thing you want to do is enroll in the course, the UBC course.
So the UBC course itself is essentially the only place that you can go and take this exam.
I think,
Or this
yeah,
license.
Technically, yes. Yeah. There are now that's just the 1700 is just you learning by yourself. There are other companies that will help you, and obviously that's gonna cost more, right? But for me, I wanted to learn everything, by myself, so I went that way. And then you have your fingerprints police check. That's $75, and the stuff that is really not out there is the applied course. So once you pass the exam, it's not like, hey, I'm gonna go sell this house to my best friend. Oh yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
There's an applied course. Now, because there's more people enrolling into the applied course, sometimes wait times could be 2 months, right?
Oh,
and if you're not working, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, 2 months, 3 months, that's, so that's another $900. So that's
From
almost
my understanding, the 2 months, 3 months you're talking about is for the wait to get into the course, because the
Yes.
course itself is a 6-month course.
Yes, but what when you first get into the course, you get like your temporary license like halfway through, or like a third of the way through, right? And so that's $2,900 just off the top of my head, right? And a lot of the other fees that people don't really factor in is like, you have gas, you have business cards, you have brokerage fees, you have just even like the licensing fee for a year, I think, or 2 years, like $2,000. That's $5,000 right there, not including if you gotta survive. And real talk, Vancouver, come on, you guys know, right? It's not the cheapest place to be.
Definitely not.
Right.
I think a lot of people, a lot of the new realtors that I've talked to, at least when they first start out, they are so focused on designing their business cards, designing their website, and I'm like, well, it's great. You definitely want to do all these things. Thank you. But don't forget, these are all expenses that you're spending right now, and you haven't earned anything yet.
Yes.
Yeah, there's brokerage fees. There's also like training. Like some of my classmates pay like $1,000 a month, and then even more on top of that just for the training. Right? And
So is this like a one-on-one training with someone to
I
help
think-
them out with the
yeah.
exam and stuff like that?
No,
Or-
no. This is you already got your
Training
license.
as a
Training.
realtor.
Real
As a
world,
realtor.
yeah, real world training.
and so they're paying a realtor to help train them.
Or part of their commission, right?
Oh, I see.
There's a lot of like this stuff. This is not on a list when you first start, inquiring about your licensing. Like you read the whole UBC manual. It's like, hey, you need this, good reputation, blah blah blah. But all
Right.
this applied course, all this other stuff, real world stuff, brokerage fees, signs even.
Right.
It's not there.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So I
but it's
think,
in this
like,
video.
I think in like the first year, you're really looking at about $10,000
Roughly, yes.
to like start up in this industry, and you just don't know when you're going to be making that first deal, or when you're going to be making that money back, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think was the biggest shocker to you once you got your
The
real
applied
estate?
course.
Yeah?
The applied course.
The applied course was the biggest shocker.
Because like with everything, maybe I missed something, I don't know, maybe I missed something while I was reading, but like once you pass the exam, it's like, hey, yeah, I passed, I'm good to go. I'm like, rocking and rolling. But no, it's like, hey, you gotta take this applied course now, and hey, you gotta wait another 2 months. So I was like a sitting duck for two months, 2.5 months. Right.
Hey guys, I just want to interject here so I can give you a breakdown of all the costs and items that Tommy was talking about. So in the very beginning, Tommy did mention that if you don't have a post-secondary degree here in Canada, then you will be expected to have your language skills tested. Now, this testing is called the CELPIP, and this is a language proficiency requirement, which tests your understanding of your written and spoken English, so that they just want to make sure if you're going to be a realtor here that you can write and speak English well. Next is the educational portion of it. So the education here in BC for you to get a real estate license is to go through UBC. UBC is the University of British Columbia, and they offer a course called the Real Estate Trading Services Licensing Course. This course is $1,150, and this course usually takes people about 3 to 6 months to up to a year to complete, because as you're studying this self-directed course, you are also expected to complete assignments along with it. Once you're done with the course and you have already completed all of your assignments, then you can move on to apply for the exam. There are 2 ways for you to take the exam. You could either do this in person, pen to paper, or you could do a computer exam, which is what most people choose because you get your results a little bit faster. The computer exam is $125. If you do not pass the exam, you do have the opportunity to retake the exam. However, you will have to wait a few months. But if you do pass, now you can proceed to the applied practice course. The applied practice course consists of 4 components, and you are allowed to apply for a temporary license once you complete the first 2 components. This course here is approximately 6 months in length, and it will cost you $875. Once you have completed the applied practice course, then comes the exciting portion where you can get licensed. So in order to be a licensed realtor here in BC, you cannot have a criminal record, which means prior to getting your license, you will need a criminal check done. The criminal checks, you could do it online or go to the RCMP office to check this, but they cost usually about $25 to $75. The last step of becoming a realtor is to join the real estate board in your area. So for myself and Gina, we are part of the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver, also shortened to REBGV. As a member of the Real Estate Board, you will also become a member of the BC Real Estate Association, which is the BC REA, and the Canadian Real Estate Association, which we call CREA. Only members of CREA are entitled to call themselves realtors. Now keep in mind that the word realtor is a trademark, and it comes with a little trademark sign at the end of the word. The biggest benefit to being a board member, of course, is that you have access to the MLS. The MLS is the multiple listing service, which you do have to pay once a month. And this gives you access to all of the listings that are posted on this platform, where you can find out where to find listings for your buyers, and also a place for you to post listings for your sellers. Now, the licensing fee for the very first time will cost $2,000. With this $2,000, $1,000 of it goes to the licensing and assessment fee, $300 goes to the real estate compensation fund, and then $700 of that goes to your insurance, which is the errors and omissions. And aside from that, the board fee of becoming a member of BCREA and also CREA is $834.75. Now, to sum up, all these fees together will cost you about $5,304.95 plus taxes. Now, please keep in mind that these expenses are not including anything that you will have to do after getting your license, which includes things like your brokerage fees. Depending on your brokerage that you choose, your brokerage fees would be your desk fees. They could be anywhere from a couple $100s to just under $2,000 a month. And also for new realtors, of course, you need to figure out a way to generate leads for your sales, generate client leads. So sometimes you do have to pay a program for you to do that, and maybe also hire somebody to make a website for you, to design a business card for you, to do your social media for you if you don't know how to do that yourself. You will also need to eventually hire an accountant to help you with your GST and your business account. Now, aside from all of these standard business expenses, there are also some additional things such as gas, car payments, and meals, where sometimes you may need to bring your clients out. I just want to remind all of our viewers that the information we provided today with the pricing and the steps to getting your real estate license is subject to change. It is accurate as of 2021, but moving forward, the real estate board may want to change things in the future.
Okay. Thanks for joining us today on Real Talk Vancouver. We hope you had a great time, and we will see you guys next time. Cheers!
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 Woo!